Hi, this is Ray at Digital Wrench, and this is the new wrench scheduler, and it is capable of scheduling pretty much anything: your customers, your ROs, labor items in the ROs. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and make a schedule. So what I'll do is pick a time. I'm going to say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So just click in there, double click. Okay, put the time in automatically, and the end time goes by the time scale, so it's 30 minutes. We can expand that later, don't worry about it now. And in the subject is what I'm basically going to schedule. Let's just say meeting. Okay, and click OK, and you're done. That's it. So we scheduled a meeting. Okay, we can grab that meeting and we can move it to 3:30. Okay, we can expand it to make it an hour meeting. And if it's a really boring meeting, it might last an hour and a half. So that's a meeting. Let's go ahead and change that. I want to do. Uh, let's double click on it, right? And you can change that meeting to something different. Or I can say I want a technician at that meeting, so I can click on this icon up here next to the tech ID, and I'll say, okay, Don needs to be at the meeting. Notice the color changed. Okay, the appointment type is now technician because it involves a technician. Okay, this will get overwritten later. Right now the color is for technician, so I'll hit OK. So now it's different because it's a technician doing something. Okay, going to a meeting. And again, you can move that wherever you want. Let's go back to 3 o'clock. And now let's go ahead and say I want that technician. I don't want him to go to a meeting. I want him to interview a customer. So you can go ahead and click the customer. Now the customer, you can click on these three dots and you can go ahead and add a customer in here just like you normally do with Digital Wrench. Okay, and so we'll add a customer here. And notice how the color changes. Okay, and the appointment type is now customer. Um, it still has a technician in there, but it's a customer appointment type. Okay, and the subject changed for the company name. The company name goes in there. Now, if there was no company name, the first name and last name for the customer would have went into the subject line. Okay, so we just click OK, and now we've created a schedule for a customer. Okay. Let's say we decide that we're going to do create a work order for that customer. Okay. Now you can't create a work order from in here. You have to have already created a work order somewhere, in Digital Wrench in the work order area. But I can select a work order, so I can double click in here. Here's the customer, and I'll select the RO already had to have been made. So I'm going to click on the three dots here, and I'm going to select number 114. This is the work in progress. Okay, for this Nissan right here. So I'll double click on it. Now what it did is it brought in the year, make, and model of the vehicle. Okay, so it can display it in a scheduler. It also put the RO number down here in the notes and the year, make, and model, so it also is going to be displayed. And the color changed to yellow. Okay, so we can see here's an RO that's scheduled now. Okay, and maybe we'll move that a little bit just for fun. And if you kind of highlight it, just take your mouse over the top of it, it'll tell you the time and the customer and the RO number and the year, make, and model. Okay. So let's say I've got some work scheduled, so I'm going to go ahead and schedule that work. So I'm going to pick the labor assist ID is basically an ID number for the labor that's in a work order. Now when I click on the three dots here, it's only going to show the labor items that are in that work order, so you're not going to get a whole bunch of labor items. So I can pick added a new radio. Okay, it'll put that into the notes down here so it can be displayed, and it will also change the color, and the appointment type is now labor. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So I can I can't do that today. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow, so I can grab that and move it over tomorrow, say at 1 o'clock. Okay, that's all there is to scheduling. Okay, So I've made a little mistake here. I was scheduling everything for this is midnight. This is 1 in the morning and 4 in the morning. Well, most shops aren't open 24/7. I guess some are. But I really made a mistake in scheduling those, and I should be scheduling down here in the white area. Okay, so you can turn this off in the setup so you don't see all the hours that you do not work, or you can leave it on, and then when you come into the screen, if you want to, you can click on this button down here, and that'll just show you the day limits. Okay, so I only work from 8 to 6 at night, so that's all the schedules for that time of day. Okay. Um, the other thing you can do is set a different time scale. Instead of 30 minutes, I could have 1 hour, and you can see the time scales a little different. You see all the schedules. Okay. I'm showing 30 minutes in here so we can also see what time it is. You can see what time I'm doing the recording. It's 12:30. Okay, on a Thursday. You see the different colors. Okay. The other thing you can do in here is filters. So all is everything in there. Okay. Tech is all the ones with technicians. Customers are all the ones with customers. Okay. Even the ROs have customers. They have to, right? All the ones that are ROs, not just customers, but all just ROs. Okay. And all the ones with labor. And then generic is going to be something like your meeting that you didn't select a technician or anybody else. It's just a regular kind of a generic schedule. Over here on the left we have filters, so I can filter by just one customer, or I can filter by one RO. I might have an RO on many different schedules, or I can schedule by one technician. I'll show you that one. Let's say I pick Don. Now it just shows all the schedules that have Don. Or I'll pick, Ray. Here's all schedules with Ray. If you want to clear all these filters, there's a button right here, Clear Searches. Click, and they're all the searches are cleared, all the filters are cleared, and it's back to showing everything on the screen. Over here on the right, we have a pick calendar, so we can see in bold the ones that have schedules. Okay. Now, if you want to add ROs quickly, instead of doing it the manual way I just showed you a bit ago, you can click on this Refresh RO Queue by whips, estimates, or both. If you just click on it without selecting, it's just going to get the work in progresses. And I can grab one with my mouse, hold down, and I can grab it and I can drop it wherever I want it to be. And it'll bring that in. It brings in the customer. It brings in the RO. It doesn't bring in the labor. We don't know what labor we want yet. And then you click OK, and there it is. I'll say it's going to take me a couple hours. And then again, you can go back in there and you could pick a particular labor item, and it would put that labor item in there. And there it is. And that's all there is to it. The other way you can do it is from the work order screen. Inside the work order, there's a little scheduler button. You can click on that and it will copy the work order number, the RO number, into the paste buffer. And then you can click on this and it'll paste it in here. That way, if you have only one screen, it's a lot easier to do it that way. Now, some of the other things you can do in here is you can pick a particular day with the date picker on the right over here. So I can pick July 1st, or I can pick August 5th. Okay, and I can add schedules to that, grab work orders and schedule them if I want. Click on today, it'll go back to today's date. I can click on month, see everything for the month. I can move something from one day to another without losing the time. Okay, so if I want to move this particular item, I can move it over to here. And when I go into that day, here, by the way, over on the left, you can go to the week and see that week. And then if I click on some particular day, any particular day, I can see that day by just clicking on day. Okay. Then you can also see the full week. If you do work on Saturdays and Sundays, you can see the full week, and you can see Multi-column mode shows you the whole week on one screen, or the month, or the day. And you have a timeline mode, which is interesting. We'll go back to work week and today. If I want to see, for instance, all the Mondays for the next couple of weeks, I can hold the control key down and click on each Monday and see just the Mondays. Okay. For that, let's click back on the week again, try that again. So you can see what you can do. There's a lot of different things, different ways you can do things. Okay, so there's all the Mondays for 1 week, or 1 month, I should say. Okay, you can also see over here that bold printed days have schedules in them. If you're on the week, then when you click on the beginning of the week, it'll show you the whole week. It's kind of a thing you need to play with. It's a lot of different options that you can use, and just give it a shot. It won't hurt to play with it. You can also print by just clicking on the printer icon right here. We're printing to a PDF writer because we don't actually have a printer hooked up, but this way we can see what it looks like when we're done printing. Give you an idea what it looks like when you're printing. This is a print previewer. It does not always work. It does crash, and the people that made this, the basic part of this software, are aware of it, and we're waiting for an update. But we have it on the screen. The other thing over here is screen settings. This gets to show only the workday limits from your workday, whatever you've set up. Here's your time scale, so you can time scale it to an hour or 2 hours, and all the times are just, you see the whole day at once. Here's different kinds of themes. Now themes, when you pick one, it's going to save it. So whatever you last use, that's what it's going to save as. Okay. Up under New Calendar menu, you have the calendar settings. These are the different colors. You can select these different colors. If you're going to do this and change the colors, do this at the beginning. Don't wait till later. It's not going to run back in time and change all the colors for the other schedules. And it'll only go for these new colors will only work for the newer schedules going forward. Restrict to working hours is probably a good idea. Okay, scroll to start is also good. And here's your time scale that you can set, the start of the working day, and that's all there is to it. And when you go back in there, it automatically just shows you just the hours that you work. That's pretty much the gist of the whole thing. There is help, so you can click on the help button, and you'll see all the different help that we put in. You can read through that. Okay. Hopefully this video will get you started. Good luck. Have fun with it.